is super interested in computer stuff, so having a little computer debacle, if you will. I had a leak on one of my lines. I'll show you right now. Okay, so over here's my reservoir with the pump. There's the chip. This top line right here, it'll probably leak right now. Oh, of course it won't. But you can see that little drop sitting down there. So this line leaked. I think something happened with the pressure and it pushed the line out a little bit. So all I did was pop it back in. But you can see there's an air bubble in there right now. And the computer just turned off because it was overheating. Well, it was getting close to overheating. And that's because the pump stopped working. So now I gotta figure out how to get that out of there to see if I can find a way to see if it works or what's going on with it. But the lines are all clear. I don't know what the heck is going on with this thing, man. This is crazy. This computer's a beast. It's awesome. Other than that. So I may have to just switch from water cooling back to air cool and see if I can keep this thing cold enough. Today, let me take this cover off here. Okay, so today we're swapping out the water cooling system for a AIO, an all-in-one. I had a minor leak here because I believe my pump stopped pumping. So what I think I'm gonna do is take this out, see if I can't fix that pump. If not, buy a new one and keep that system as a backup. My AIO should be here tomorrow, so for today the computer's gonna be down and be back up tomorrow. But in the meantime, I believe I might have to take this motherboard out to get that bracket off for the new AIO. So that being said, we're gonna have to drain the cooling system, take it all apart. Should be an interesting job. Stick around and let's see how crazy this video gets. All right, so I've got the case opened up. I'm about to disconnect the power. I got a funnel. I got a dish to catch all the liquid I drain out. Got some shop towels just in case. I got some hose clamp pliers, some hose pliers. These are really good if these nuts get stuck to give them a little influence. I got some robotic Robo Grips Craftsman pliers. These are good for the straight on ones. And a screwdriver. Pretty sure that's all I'm gonna need. Depends on if I actually have to take the motherboard out or not. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the AIO that I got fits that bracket. Could be wrong, we'll see when we get there. For the time being though, let's get started. this is day 2. We got the AIO. So it's an MSI. Core Liquid 360R. Let's see, it says effortless installation without limits, radiator pump design. The pump's been integrated into the radiator for sound dampening and noise reduction. Rotatable blockhead, which is kind of cool. High thermal dissipation, split liquid pathway through the radiator, rapidly dissipates heat, cold liquid is pumped back to the loop. Cool, that's all we need. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to install this today because even though I ordered this and the thermal paste at the exact same time, the thermal paste won't be here till tomorrow, apparently. I'm kind of crossing my fingers and hoping that it'll show up early, but I doubt it. They're pretty accurate with their shipping, so let's see what this thing looks like. I still have to clean off the thermal paste, the old thermal paste from the chip there, so damn. Alright, let me give you a view of what I got going on here. Quick installation guide, but comes all packaged in here. So we have 3 fans, LED fan, 2 ball bearing. Pretty cool. They have the LEDs on the inside, so it kind of reflects off the blades. But like I said, I think I'm gonna use my Inwin fans because they go with the face of the Inwin, the computer. So they include thermal paste. I'm just not sure if I want to use their thermal paste or actually wait for some quality thermal paste. But that being said, we got brackets, we got cables, everything we're going to need for the install. And last but not least, we have the heatsink and we have the radiator. And that is a thin radiator. I hope this thing can pump fast enough because damn, that's thin. Like compared to the old one, yeah, maybe a 1/4 inch difference. I mean, thickness on the outside, but the fins are actually like thinner on this one, which tells me that it's probably not going to cool as well as my old water-cooled setup, but what can you do? I still have to test this old water-cooled setup, and I'm going to clean it out really well, and then I'm going to get some new coolant and see if I can't put it all back together and at least just make a loop between here and the top and just cycle some coolant through it. These are 12-volt motors, so I have a 12-volt power source in the garage to hook it up to, so that wouldn't be a biggie. But I think after cleaning it out, I think it'll work again. So here we go. With these heat sinks, you want to install the heat sink lower. You don't want the heat sink to be the highest point in the system because then you're going to get air bubbles and they're going to float up into here. Inevitably going to be a small amount of air in here. The air will go to the highest point, obviously. It's not going to stay trapped anywhere in the system. So setting it up like this would be ideal, or setting it up like this would be ideal, which is how my old setup is. I just have to see if these hoses are long enough, because if I do this, it looks like they're going to be sitting right in front of my RAM, which I don't want. I definitely don't want to do it like this, because obviously that makes this the high point. I don't know. I'm gonna have to toy with it and see what we come up with. But in the meantime, I need to go over here and look at these brackets to see if the brackets that I have already on there are gonna hold up with one of these. That one looks pretty promising. Nope, too thin. This one looks like it may work. Nope, only one more left in here, and I think it's the MSI one. Oh no, there's 2 more in here. If I'm not mistaken, this is the MSI one. It's not. I mean, this would be MSI, but I think this is Intel. I don't think that's MSI. Alright, instructions here. Wow, this is just very basic. Alright, so this is the back. There's my power supply. There's the 2 terabyte hard drive. And all the cabling. If you look back in here, you probably can't see it, but there's a circuit board. That's where all the LEDs are controlled to match up with this LED screen out here. But what we're looking for are all of these screws right here. So I'm gonna have to take my power supply out to get to the back of the, oh look, I'm gonna have to take the motherboard out. There's an access to the back of it right there. Look, that's the chipset. So this is the backing plate for that mount on the other side. So all I had to do was take the back off. That's fantastic. That is so awesome. Can I get to the all sides of it? Yeah, look at that. I can get to all 4 mounting points of it. That is just smart design right there. Okay, so that's what I'm doing next. Okay, so all I'm doing now is taking out these screws, and I've already got 6 out that are holding in the radiator. Then I'll remove it from the other side. Got the power source just hanging right here. And then I'm gonna disconnect this, which, if I'm not mistaken, and this blue wire, which goes to another pin up here, but those go to the, if you can see through there, to the pump and reservoir. This is a swell design. It's swell. They did a good job. Good job, people. Alright, so I've got it disconnected. You can see. Pulling her out. There we go. There she is. So let's see how much more coolant's in there. Oh shit, that was a smart move. Smooth move, Ajax. Didn't think about it draining from this side, from the outlet side. Only the inlet. Empty. The computer is empty, and that's the only little mess I made right there. We're talking right now. So there's not a whole lot of coolant in the system. Of course, I did leak a tiny bit. Nothing big or enough to hurt it, but there you go. There's your radiator, fans, there's the heatsink, and the tubes. So that's it for the cooling system for the time being. Like I said, I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm gonna keep it around for just in case I want to put it back in later. All right, guys. So here we are. We're back. It's about a week later. Like I said, I had to order the bracket to mount this AIO to the board, and that bracket just arrived on Friday, but I worked from Friday until Wednesday, so it's now Thursday, the 18th, and I think I got this all done and ready to go the Wednesday before I went back to work. So it's been a week and a day. So, but good news is bracket's here, and I can assemble this and finish up. I got my thermal paste, just put the right amount on there. Got my bracket, put it together, turn the computer on, and get back to work. Maybe finish some videos. Maybe post some videos. What the fuck? Maybe do some work. Alright, stay tuned, let's get to this. Let's get another angle going here so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, you know what, I have a, there we go. Alright. So, bracket. Oh, look at that, they even give you a screwdriver. How fancy is that? Look at that little thing. Part number LPN PM 26269 1870. I don't know what that means, but this is what the bracket is. So this side goes on the back of the motherboard. These will go on the front and mount directly to this. Some screws provided. This one will mount like that, and you see these little hooks on there? Those little hooks will hook onto the bracket in here. It's like an open square, so that open square hooks under that loop, and then you tighten them. So, good. Good. Let's do this. Guess I'll have to start on the other side, and just for safety's sake, I'm gonna unplug the computer. I do have carpet in this room, and I don't want to statically blow anything, so yeah, leave that unplugged for the time being. Naughty Daisy, do it. Naughty Daisy. Naughty Daisy. Okay, get down, boo-boos. I don't know if that's on there right. I don't think it's on there right. I don't think it's on there. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. Alright, taking it off. Don't think I put it on the right. I think I put it on the wrong. Here. Grab. Got sunburned today real good. Shit. If we're starting to get any heat. We're at 27 Celsius, 26 Celsius. Regularly, when I was running a load on this thing with the water-cooled setup and, like, you know, opening 2 or 3 programs, running all kinds of, doing editing while having a video playing, while also switching back and forth from Filmora to YouTube to Chrome, you know, all over the place. It would normally run around 30. So the fact that we're at 27 right now tells me that that thing's doing a fantastic job. And it's quiet. It's quieter than the... maybe not. Maybe it's about the same volume that it used to be. Alright, so up here I got my metrics going so I can keep an eye on the GPU temperature, junction. So we're at 29, 28, 29. So we're getting pretty close to where it normally runs. Checking for updates, up to date on this, so I'm gonna go ahead and close that down. 30, there we go. We're right where we normally would run. Well, all said and done, what I set out to do, I did. I replaced the water-cooled setup with an AIO. It's an MSI AIO. And it did have a few bad reviews, but the bad reviews that it had weren't even for the AIO. They were for the, like, there was no pump failures, there was no doesn't keep the computer cool. It was all the fans that came with it, which I'm not using anyway. I kept the Egos because of the individually addressable lights, which are hooked up to the face of this thing right here. So whatever's on the face is what those fans are doing. You see? And the other light that you're seeing in there is because there's a strip of LEDs up there. There's one behind the motherboard. Those cable managements are hooked up to it. The RAM is hooked up to it. So all of these colored lights that are that aren't individually addressable, that aren't following what the face of this is doing, those are all connected to the motherboard. This is not, as far as the RGBs go, this is not hooked up to the motherboard. This has its own motherboard on the inside here that tells these lights what to do. And I wish I could run the motherboard off of this, because then all of them would be doing the same thing, which would be awesome. And I might look into figuring out how to make that happen. But anyway, for now, I did what I set out to do. I need to get back to my editing because I have a whole lot of freaking videos to catch up on. And now I got another one. I gotta make this video. Thanks, I guess, to me. Alright guys, see you next time.